Thank you. Now, welcome to the 2013 Scholars Assembly. Special welcome to our scholars, whom you will meet in a moment, and our guest speaker, Aaron Park. Aaron was the Proxime Accessit here at Massey High School in 2008, which is the year that our scholars were in Year 9. And he was involved in a lot of activities at school, particularly strong in table tennis, but also played soccer. He won a scholarship in statistics and modelling when he was here, and he was a finalist in the chemistry for the Chemistry Olympiad team. So if I've read his information correctly, he's 22 years of age. Correct, Aaron? Okay, he was here with his twin brother as well, so they were well known around our school. So I'm going to ask Aaron to come and speak to you and to our scholars and to give some idea of what he's been doing since he left Massey High School and some words of advice for our scholars and future scholars that are sitting in this audience today. So please welcome back to Massey High School, Aaron Park.
All right, what an honor it is to be talking here today. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Principal, for giving me this opportunity. And especially thank you to the ducks in my year, Matthew Calvin, for not being able to make it today. So I'm here to give you some academic advice. Many of you are considering tertiary study to increase your job prospects. If not, you're considering getting the best results possible for a secondary qualification so that you can have the best opportunities possible when finding a job. So what kind of academic advice am I going to give you? Well, I'm actually not here to talk about my academic successes. I could talk to you about them, but I don't think you'll learn anything from them, because I certainly didn't learn anything from them. What I am going to talk to you about is my academic failures and the lessons that I learned from them, in the hope that you will learn something from them too. So when I was in the position that you are now, I had just received the results from my NCA Level 2. I had gotten practically perfect grades, even got a scholarship, as Mr. Richard said. But in Year 13, my exams went a little differently. I bombed out pretty spectacularly. I certainly didn't get any scholarships, and I even, to tell you the truth, failed a few papers. So this is actually only the second time that I've been back to my high school, just because I've been too embarrassed to look my teachers in the eye. But here I am, presenting scholarships to the scholars, so life can be funny sometimes. But back to my point, what was my mistake? How did I bomb out so spectacularly? Well, there were a lot of things going on back then, but one thing that I can attribute to my failure was overconfidence, okay? And I see this all the time in university, with my friends and everyone else. Often people will study really hard in a midterm, okay, and they get those good results that they were hoping for. So then they think that that gives them, so then that kind of makes them relax, and they think that they're on track to get a good result, right? But then once all is said and done, they finish the course and they get their final grade back, they often don't get the grade that they were hoping for, okay? So what was wrong with that type of thinking? Where did it go wrong? So you've got to remember what got you the good grade in the first place, right? It was the hard work that you put in. So if you're going to, if you want to achieve good results that you are happy with, you've got to make sure to be consistently keeping up your work ethic, okay? So it's not enough to get, you know, the off chance good mark. You've got to consistently be getting them over and over again. That's how you end up with the good grades. The next thing that I want to talk about is rote learning and cramming just before exams. I did this a lot, especially during my first year of uni, and I still do it. And most students think that this is the best way to study. But it really isn't, okay? So it's not that reliable, it puts a lot of strain on you, and the long-term retention of that knowledge isn't very good. It's actually better to study in small doses right throughout the year. So, you know, especially make the most of your class time. It's a certain period of your day where you're there to study. So just make the most of that, you know. It's not like you have to study during every waking moment, during your spare time. Just make the most of it when you do study. Yeah, just stay focused and utilize that time, okay? So just a little bit of time every day. When exams and tests are coming up, you'll need to pick that up a bit. But overall, you can, if you adopt this kind of strategy, then that means that your study will become more enjoyable, it will be less stressful, and you'll also be getting better grades with less effort. And that's the key here, okay? So it's about getting good grades with a small amount of effort. So don't do the opposite and do nothing but study, because that's quite obviously a failure of time management. So there's been periods of my life when I've adopted this strategy. This is my message for those people who might be doing that. Believe it or not, you can still get those same great grades with doing not nearly as much study, okay? So it's really a balance. You have to be able to switch from study mode, where you're really focused and you're concentrating on that, and then you go into play mode, you know, when you're able to do your other stuff. People often say, study hard, play hard. It's totally possible to have a social life, to have extracurricular activities going on and still get good grades. So if you're thinking to yourself, I just can't get into the study mode, it's not about natural ability, okay? It's about attitude. It's 99% attitude. So let me illustrate this with an example. I have a friend who's into powerlifting, and he can lift some pretty serious weight, okay? So he asked me for some study tips. So I asked him, well, how come how did you get so strong as you are now? So he said to me, well, when I go into the gym, just before I do my lifts, I put myself into the right mental state and psych myself up. When I do those lifts, I'm putting, you know, 110% of my willpower in, and then at the end of it, I record my results and track my progress. So I said to him, you've already got the right attitude, man. You just need to apply that to your study, okay? And the same thing will apply to you. No doubt you've got some kind of hobby, some kind of talent, or just something you like doing. So you just need to apply the attitude you have in that activity to your study, and you will be so successful, all right? So academic success, in fact, any kind of success, is all about having the right mindset. You've got to be positive, and you've got to be motivated. So every time you approach study, just approach it in that mindset, and you'll do really well. To those thinking of tertiary study, I've got to bring up something that I've had trouble with, the student debt, okay? So if I went on the CertiLink website and said the average student loan is about $7,300. So think carefully about what you're choosing to study if you're ready for tertiary study, okay? Many people, I've seen many people fail courses, drop out of courses, change halfway through. I'm actually a prime example of this. I'm doing my second university degree. So the chances of getting, especially if you're doing a university course in a non-technical area, the chances of getting meaningful work in your area of study, it's not guaranteed, okay? So, so just think carefully before you enter into something like that. So if you are interested in, say, especially in a university course, there are actually a lot of online, free, open access university courses out there. A lot of the top American universities are offering their most popular courses online for free. You can watch the lectures, you can do assignments, you can sit exams, you can get a certificate at the end of it. So especially if you're considering a university degree, try it out. I've done a couple, they're really good, okay, and they can give you a taster of what you're about to buy into. So that's critical. So tertiary education is just like another consumer good. It's like something you buy in a shop, right? So you've got to make sure that you get what you pay for. All courses are not equal. And don't just take it for granted, okay? If everyone else is getting themselves into massive student debt, that means that it's okay. So think carefully about that kind of thing. And another tip for those people that are thinking of university courses that don't lead to an actual work qualification is if you're going to go that route, just make sure that you study something, which I made the mistake of not doing, of something that suits your way of thinking and your mindset, so it will help grow your mind. That will be really important once it comes to actually finding a job. Okay, so I hope that somewhere in this talk I've given at least one piece of advice that can help every single one of you in this room. I hope that in the upcoming year you will not make my mistakes, but you will do the best of your abilities. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Aaron, and there's some great advice there. Aaron did biomedical science when he left Massey and went to University of Auckland. After that, he got a teaching fellowship at the University of Otago, so went down there. Now he's come back to the University of Auckland and is doing an engineering degree now in engineering science, which he tells me is a lot about computer modelling. He's very interested in doing quantitative analysis in areas like that. So he's now on his second degree, and that is quite common. So some really good pieces of advice. Moving on to our scholars. The purpose of this assembly is to acknowledge and congratulate those who have achieved at the highest level. And these are the NZQA scholarship examinations. They are additional to NCEA Level 3 and much harder. Approximately 3% of the NCEA Level 3 candidates in any particular subject will get a scholarship if they sit it. The actual number varies because the number of students in each subject will vary. But once your scholarship exams are marked, a panel then looks at the papers again in each subject and they remark the best ones to determine who will get an outstanding award. So to get an outstanding award is something special. And the number of outstanding awards in any subject will vary from year to year because they only give them to the very, very best. There are monetary awards to win, and you must know this if this is something you're going to do. To start off with, there are Premier Awards for the top 5 to 10 people in the whole country overall, and to get that you must have at least 3 outstanding scholarships. It's worth $30,000. This year they've awarded 10. Then the next group are called Outstanding Scholarship Awards, and they go to about the next 40 or 60. And you must have at least 3 scholarships with 2 outstanding, or if more than 3 scholarships, at least 1 outstanding. And those students get $15,000 over 3 years, and we have 2 students in that category. Then there is those who get scholarship awards, and that means that you must have 3 scholarships or more, and for that you get $6,000, and we have 1 student in that category. And then there's top subject scholars, and they get $6,000. We don't have any this year, but in the past we have had in geography and accounting, the top scholars in New Zealand. And then single subject scholarship awards, for those who get 1 or 2. You still get some money, you get $500 for each. So if you get 1, you get 500, 2, you get 1,000. So now, to present these, I'm going to ask Aaron if he would present certificates to these people. And the first, in alphabetical order, so there's no set hierarchy here, Roya Alkamil is not here, she couldn't make it. But she got a scholarship in English at the outstanding level, and there are only 60 awarded in New Zealand. She's also gained NCEA Level 3 with excellence after getting levels 1 and 2 with merit. So she developed while she was at school. So she gets $500 for that, and last year she was given one of the trust Community Foundation scholarships worth $4,000. And she's going to study biomedical science at the University of Auckland. The next person is Sameen Cooper. Sameen, if you could come up, please. Clap, you're going to clap. Sameen has gained a scholarship in art history. There were only 49 awarded in the whole of New Zealand. She's passed NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with excellence. She gained 100 excellence credits at level 3. In fact, Sameen has never failed a credit since she's been in high school. Not bad, eh? She was our arts leader last year, as you will know. She's just been on the music tour to Europe. And last year she was also awarded the Trust Community Foundation Scholarship worth $4,000. And she's just been awarded this week another scholarship from Smith & Partners, a law firm in Lincoln Road, for another $1,000. Congratulations, Sameen. She's off to the University of Auckland to study law and arts. Well done, Sameen. The next person on my list is Hwang. And Hwang is not here. And I'll explain why in a moment. But he gained scholarships in chemistry, statistics and physics, with an outstanding scholarship in chemistry and in statistics. And last year in year 12, he gained 3 scholarships, chemistry, statistics and biology, with outstanding in chemistry. However, you cannot aggregate, and this is something you have to understand, you cannot aggregate your scholarships over the 2 years, year 12 to 13, in order to win the awards. You have to get them all into 1 year. So he cannot aggregate those over the 2 years. Hwang was our Dux last year. He was a finalist for the Chemistry Olympiad team and would have been a biology finalist because he was selected for both, but he could only choose one, so he chose chemistry. He was one of only 6 in New Zealand chosen to attend the Youth International Science Forum in London. He was a gold badge prefect, one of our academic leaders. He's passed NCA level 1, 2 and 3 with excellence, and he gained 112 excellence credits last year at level 3. He won an Outstanding Scholar Award in these exams, and this year, which gives him $15,000 and puts him in the top 64 students in the whole country. And furthermore, he won a University of Auckland Scholarship Award worth $50,000. However, Hwang has decided he's going to study in Korea. So at this point in time, he's in Korea attending the University of Seoul, where he will be studying biomedical science. So unfortunately, he's had to turn down the $65,000 worth of scholarships. So that's a big decision to make. So no doubt he'll do very well. So in his absence, let us congratulate Hwang. Roden's here. Your certificate, Roden got a scholarship in drama, and that's most unusual. There were only 55 awarded in the whole of the country this year. He gained NCA level 3 with excellence after getting levels 1 and 2 with merit. So he's another person who's really developed. And as you know, he was our deputy head boy last year, and I think he was involved in every activity in the school. Rugby tour to France, music tour to Austria, and so it goes on. Last year he was awarded by AUT University a significant student scholarship award that's worth $15,000. He is off to AUT University, obviously, and he's studying a Bachelor of Communications degree. And he's going to specialise, hopefully, in sports journalism. And he told me one of his goals is to interview Tavita when he becomes an All Black. Okay? So well done, Broden. Next person is Tomoko Konishi. Scholarships in biology and statistics. Come up, Tomoko. Now these scholarships are in subjects that have large numbers of students doing them. So in getting a scholarship, she's in the top 250 in bio and the top 411 in statistics. She was a prefect last year, involved in a number of different activity groups around the school. She gained an NCA level 3 with merit, and for her 2 scholarships she gets $1,000. Last year she was also awarded an alumni scholarship from the University of Auckland, which is worth $7,500. And she will be studying biomedical science at the University of Auckland. Congratulations, Tomo. Lisa Matson, please come up. Lisa gained a scholarship in biology, again one of the biggest subjects, so she's in the top 250 biologists in the country. She too was involved in a lot of activities around the school, and she has a particular interest in environmental science. So this year she's studying at the University of Auckland biological science and specialising in environmental science. And for her scholarship she gets $500. Congratulations, Lisa. Fardowsa Mohamed. Come forward, Fardowsa. She was our top student in these scholarship examinations. She got 5 scholarships. Not bad. With 2 outstanding. Outstanding in biology and history. And scholarships, well done Mrs. Price, and scholarships in chemistry, physics and statistics. This puts her in the top 20 in New Zealand in history, the top 38 in New Zealand in biology. And in those other big subjects, top 194 in chemistry, 189 in physics, and as I've already said, 411 in statistics. Last year, Fardowsa also got scholarships in Year 12 in biology with outstanding and chemistry, but again, she cannot aggregate the 2 years. Within Sung, Fardowsa was a finalist for the Chemistry Olympiad team, was also a Gold Badge Prefect as academic leader within Sung. She's gained NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with excellence. She got 119 excellence credits last year at level 3. And she too has never failed a credit while she's been at Massey High School. She was Proxime Accessit, and Fardowsa has won an Outstanding Scholar Award worth $15,000 in these scholarship examinations. So this places her within Sung in the top 64 scholars in the country. Last year, she was awarded the Leaders of Tomorrow Scholarship from the University of Otago, and this is worth $5,000 to her this year. So she's at Otago University studying health science, hoping to get into medicine. And she's come up especially for this. Thank you, Fardowsa. Anadil Sameen, who's absent today, couldn't make it. Scholarships in biology and classical studies, so she gets $1,000 for her troubles. She too has gained NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with excellence, has never failed a standard. She participated in a lot of groups in the school, and last year she also got one of the Trust Community Foundation scholarships worth $4,000. And I'm not too sure where Anadil is destined this year, but she's not here today. Next is Kuna Santhrase Garam. Kuna gained a scholarship in English, giving her $500. She gained NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with merit. She's lots of groups last year. She was also awarded a Faculty of Business and Economics entry-level undergraduate scholarship from the University of Auckland, with $2,500 for her first year, and she's going to Auckland Uni to study BCom LLB. So congratulations. Amy Yates. Amy's gained scholarships in English, art history and media studies, giving her what is called a scholarship award for getting at least 3 scholarships. For this she gets $6,000. She's in the top 388 in English, the top 49 in art history. So there's not a lot of scholarships given in art history, and similarly media, a top 89 in the country. She was a prefect last year, very active in many different groups. She's gained NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with merit, excellent merit. Last year she was also a recipient of one of the Trust Community Foundation scholarships worth $4,000. So in total she gets $10,000. She's doing a Bachelor of Performing and Screen Arts at Unitec. So well done, Amy. Congratulations. Is Anna Zan here? She didn't make it. My word. Well, Anna gained an outstanding scholarship in English, which places her in the top 49 in the country. And this gives her $500. And she was our deputy head girl last year. She's got all her NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with excellence, and a scholarship in art history as well. And she was involved in a lot of activities around the school, as you know, and went on the music tour to Austria and Italy. And she was awarded a Faculty of Arts entry-level undergraduate scholarship from the University of Auckland last year worth $3,000. And she'll be studying law and arts at Auckland Uni. And Hwang Zhu is not here, he's in China. Scholarships in physics and statistics, so he wins $1,000, and he's gained his NCA levels 1, 2 and 3 with merit and excellence and excellence. So he's got better as the time has gone on. So those are all the people we have here, so thank you, Aaron. You may sit down if you wish. But I just added up, for interest's sake, all these scholars, this small group of scholars, 12, who won 23 scholars in total with 6 outstanding, have gained in total $141,000 worth of scholarships. So hopefully that's something that some of you can think about in the future. So I would like to add my congratulations to all of our scholars. And at this point in time, I usually invite any one of them, or more than one, to come and say a few words. Their last opportunity here at Massey High School. Fardowsa. Excellent.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the scholars for doing so well. It's really great to see so many of my friends up here doing superbly. I always wondered when I come to these assemblies, whether I'm sitting here or sitting where you are today, why people don't come up to do speeches. And now I know it's really hard to think of something to say that's meaningful and concise and not too specific when it comes to scholarships. And I think Aaron summed it up really well, and if I were you, I'd take what he said on board, because that's the lessons that he learned are definitely the lessons that I've learned over my 5 years as well. But I would like to talk about one thing, and this thing is almost a cliche. It's bitterly obvious why this thing is so important, yet I noticed last year that a lot of people lacked in this one thing. And it's what, you know, our parents have been teaching us since we were kids. It's what the Disney movies have been teaching us since forever. And it's what, you know, what we're all supposed to have, but yet so many of us lack in it. And this thing is self-belief. Before you roll your eyes at how cliche and obvious that is, the amount of people that don't sit scholarship or don't show up to the exam that don't think they can do it and then regret it is surprisingly large. I mean, even I suffered from this a little bit where I aimed probably a little lower than I should have for a few of my subjects, and then you know, didn't get what I was capable of getting. I'm not saying that I'm, you know, at all like ungrateful. I'm completely stoked and surprised. I kind of came out of the exam period thinking I have no idea how I went with anything. So I am happy, but there is a reason why the people that aim higher do better, and there is a reason why, you know, everybody who gets scholarship knows that they can get scholarship. And if there's anything that I'd like you to take away from what I'm saying, is that it's so extremely important for you to tell yourself and instill in yourself that you can do and that you deserve and that you're capable of achieving highly. And this is not something that I'm just sort of making up just to, you know, do a pretty speech. This is, you know, sort of scientific proof. There's a reason why you give somebody like a sugar pill and tell them this is the miracle pill and then they suddenly get better. It's because the mindset and the way that you think that you can do is so important in the way that you actually end up doing. So if there's anything that I learned in my 5 years, and if there's anything that I'd like you to learn, is that be fearless in the way that you aim to do. So aim as high as you possibly can, because there's no point in putting a limitation on your capability when you don't know how large your potential is. Before I sit down, I'd like to leave you with one quote, and it's a really, really famous quote, and you've probably all heard it before, and I've known this quote for like 7, 8 years or something, but I never understood it until now. And the quote is, the name of the woman who said it escapes me, but part of the quote is, our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And I'm not going to explain what that quote means, because I think there's a really great journey in finding out what it does, but I'll give you a little clue. Self-belief is an underlying theme. So thank you, and work hard.
To basically repeat for the 3rd time, because my art history teacher, Ms. Haddon, always told me that you have to be told something 3 times until you get into your thick skulls. That's probably her exact words. Yeah, so I just want to echo Fardowsa and Aaron's, yeah, I knew it was Aaron's sentiments in terms of, a lot of you might be sitting here going, oh wow, look at all the things they've done, getting excellent credits, I don't think I can do it. But I think it's really important to just go, actually, I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to pull through to the end of the year, and I'm going to go into that exam and just give it a go. Because you never know what might happen. Like, I did art history scholarship, went in, came completely out of left field, I had no idea what to write, and I wrote nothing. But I stayed there until half the time, and I was like, oh, I just can't do it. But at least I gave it a go. You never know, you might turn out like Fardowsa and actually get outstanding scholarship in history. So that just shows, you know, you've got to give it a go, and you don't actually lose anything. You gain, you know, a little, you learn how to be persistent, you learn how to, you know, a little bit of hard work never killed anyone. And I just also, completely on the other hand, also want to sort of add on to what Aaron said about going to university is, I mean, I can't really talk, I'm not there yet, but going to university is a really big decision to make, and I think a lot of people foolishly think, oh yeah, I'll go to university, that's what we do, you know, everybody gets a degree, then they can go get a job. But I think, you know, have a little think about it before you go to university. Think, is this actually the best thing for me to do? Do I need a degree to get to where I want to go? And can I get there some other way that's actually going to benefit me more? Whether that's going to be, you know, going straight into the workforce and working your way up and things like that. So that's just something else to consider. Thank you.
Yeah, I know how predictable I'm up here. Firstly, I just want to thank all the teachers that put their afternoons, their mornings, their night times marking whatever we gave to them, whether it be Fardowsa standard or my standard. I just want to thank them for all the time and effort they put in. None of us would be up here today or in Korea or China without the 5 years of effort they put in. So listen to what they have to say to you. Take on their advice. Listen to the lessons. Because that's the only way you're going to get somewhere in this world. Besides what they've all talked about in terms of self-belief and whatnot, the thing that I want to bring up to you is the word passion. For me, last year I also sat English scholarship and I did terrible. I got a mark of 4. And to be honest, I think it's because deep down I wasn't passionate about it. Sorry for sentence. But I love drama. I do well in drama, and I've realised it's because I'm passionate at it. And here I am today. So what I want all of you to go away with is think, what's that one subject you're taking this year that you are passionate about? What's that one that you can't wait for each day, that you want to go to and sit in there and learn and be a part of the environment? Find out if there is a scholarship in that subject. And then you'll never know where it will take you until next year, and you could be sitting up here as well. It's just an amazing feeling, and once you find that passion, never let it go. So thank you.
Great words of advice. And following Roden's advice, you'd be very passionate to get to class. I know that. So once again, I want to thank Aaron for coming. Coming back to school, it's great. And congratulate all those scholars. And you're right, Broden, the teachers are so important. And don't you forget them. Okay? The teachers are so important. So I hope you have a good day, and I'd like to ask you to stand as our guests leave the auditorium. Thank you.